What did you do to help stick within maintaining a caloric deficit? Are there food swaps that you made? Are there different times in which you ate differently? How did you approach making that easier for you?
So the biggest thing for me is prioritizing protein because that helps keep me full for
Hmm.
more of the day. So finding ways to either incorporate more protein into my meals or swapping things out, like, having adding Greek yogurt to things or cottage cheese, which I actually had never really had until my weight loss journey. It always kind of seemed weird to me, but I actually kind of like it. But just really prioritizing the protein, for me, is the second most important thing, right below calories.
I agree with that so much. I always find it so much easier to maintain a caloric deficit if like the first meal of my day is like packed full of protein. It always just makes it so much easier. I don't really think about food as much, and you typically feel better too. What what high protein foods, in addition to, you said Greek yogurt and cottage cheese? I love cottage cheese, so I'm glad that you're part of that team now. But what else do you eat to get that protein number up? Because it's hard for a lot of people.
So I do have a lot of protein shakes. I'll probably have at least one a day. And then my two main protein sources are lean ground beef and chicken breast. And then just cooking those in different ways. The air fryer has become my best friend.
Love air fryer. Yeah, I
Uh,
love me an air fryer.
so, but yeah, just I mean, I try to have as much, or I try to get as much protein as possible from real foods as opposed to the protein shakes. But I aim for 200 grams of protein a day, so sometimes it's hard to hit that mark without a little help.
Totally. Yeah, no, when you do the numbers, you're like, okay, especially as a guy like myself and you, like you're like, oh, I need this much protein. It does become pretty intimidating to get that much in. So I think protein shakes can be a great way to help with that because that knocks out usually like at least 30 grams right there, which is super helpful. But yeah, it can be hard for a lot of people. So you want to get creative and see what things have more protein, and tracking your food is a great way to actually see what is higher protein, because sometimes people think things are really high protein and they're not that high protein. Like I know like nuts is sometimes people think is super high protein. And it's not. There's some protein there, but it's not a ton. So you also mentioned before that you've tried weight loss before and then weren't successful with it or didn't stick with it. What's different about this time?
The biggest thing for me is in the past, I always relied on motivation, and I would get super motivated in the moment. Like, you know what, this is the time I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to stick with it. I'll do everything I need to do. And then the next day, I wouldn't really feel like it, and I wouldn't be motivated, and I'd kind of let it slide. And that would happen again and again. And I got to the point where I realized that if I continue to just rely on being motivated in the moment, it's never going to happen. But discipline is what allowed me, or what helped me do it when I didn't feel like doing it, which was the key to sticking with it and
Yeah,
continuing.
it's the key to everything. And how did you establish that discipline?
For me, it was accountability. I've been working with a weight loss coach since the beginning of my journey, and then actually posting on social media as well helps hold me accountable, knowing that there are people who gain motivation from watching my videos and are also waiting for that next video. So if I don't post, I feel like I'm, maybe letting some people down. And that's what really helped get me started. I mean, now it's just becoming part of my routine and just something that I do, which is really, it's been awesome because it's kind of like second nature now. So it's not, at the beginning it felt like I was kind of fighting tooth and nail, like every day,
Mhm.
like, all right, here's another day. Like I got to do everything right. Um, but yeah, I mean, so it's really just getting the ball rolling.
It's a lot at first for sure, because there's so many new things that you're adding or changing, which is pretty intimidating. So I think what you said is so powerful. We're creating that sense of accountability. Whatever makes sense for you, whatever you can afford, having some sort of sense of accountability there just to get you to the point where it is a habit, right? Because much like you said, like I watch your videos now and it just seems like you're living life, right? Like it doesn't seem like you're having to really like stress super hard about everything you're doing. You're just doing the stuff you know you're supposed to, and then you get the results from it. But getting to that point is the hardest part. So that's great advice there. And I think that you gave some solid examples for how you can build accountability. You could also be doing it with a friend. You could use apps. Like there's so many ways that you can get creative to try to create that sense of accountability. And then a month later, you'll look up and you're like Josh, you're just following the pattern that you've built and you're getting the results from it. Since you made it all the way through the clip, you'll definitely love the full episode with Josh, and we've linked it right here for you to easily access. So go ahead and click this. I'll see you over there. Peace.